Good morning, everyone. Today's lesson is going to be on Japan's geography. Japan is an archipelago or chain of islands. It is located 100 miles off the coast of the mainland of Asia and east of the Korean Peninsula. Early in Japan's history, it was strongly influenced by China. There are 4 main islands: Hokkaido, Honshu, Kyushu, and Shikoku. 4/5 of its land are too mountainous to farm. Most people settle in narrow river valleys and along the coastal plains. Mild climate and sufficient rainfall help farmers. Japan is affected by the sea. The seas surrounding Japan have both isolated and protected the country. Japan is close enough to learn from China and Korea, yet far enough away to avoid conquest. Japan could accept or reject Chinese influence easier than other Asian lands. The seas are very important to Japan. The seas help Japan develop its own identity, offer important trade routes, and support their fishing industry. Japan lies in a region known as the Ring of Fire, which is made up of a chain of volcanoes that encircle the Pacific Ocean. This makes it very susceptible to earthquakes and volcanoes. Underwater, earthquakes can launch killer tidal waves called tsunamis, which sweep over the land without warning, wiping out everything in the path. Early Japanese history. The people we know as the Japanese migrated from the Asian mainland more than 2,000 years ago. Early Japanese society was divided into clans or uji. Each uji had its own chief and a special god or goddess who was seen as the clan's original ancestor. Women's place in early Japan. Some clan leaders were women. The Yamato clan set up Japan's first and only dynasty, with the chief being the first emperor. Religion. Early clans worshiped forces of nature known as Shinto, meaning the way of kami. Humans are thought to be fundamentally good, and evil is believed to be caused by the evil spirits. Traditions of Shinto are still seen in Japan today. Korean influence on Japan. Koreans were more advanced in ironworking, sword making, and manufacturing. Japanese language related to Korean, but completely different from Chinese. Korean missionaries introduced Buddhism to Japan in the 500s. This sparked Japanese interest in Chinese civilization. In the 600s, Prince Shikoku of the Yamato clan sent nobles to study in China, and for years monks, traders, and officials visited. As a result, Japan set up their government in a similar way. They adopted the pagoda architecture from the Chinese Buddhists. Confucian ideas spread. However, the Japanese did not adopt the civil service exam from the Chinese. Feudalism in Japan. A civil war broke out in 1336 that ended the real power of the emperor. The emperor sent armies of what became known as samurai to fight the civil war for him, and when they returned, he gave the title shogun to the leader of the army, so they would not take him over as emperor. This began a new form of control in Japan, where the leaders of different armies controlled smaller pieces of land rather than one emperor controlling everything. Japanese feudalism. The feudal period of Japanese history was a time when powerful families and a military power of warlords and their warriors ruled Japan. Yamato family remained as emperor, but their power was seriously reduced because the daimyo, shogun, and samurai were so powerful. Then the next 700 years of feudal Japan, different shoguns controlled Japan. Minamoto set up the first of 3 military dynasties that ruled. Here are some of the classes of the warriors. There's the shogun shown, there's the samurai, and the daimyo. Samurai means those who serve. They would develop their own code of values called Bushido, or the way of the warrior. This concludes your lesson on Japan. I hope you enjoyed it. Have a great day.